I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change. Play the game that we say. I need a...
Hey guys, welcome back again to Dave's Dimension. Welcome back again for another video. Welcome back to the channel where cast and insanity will always reign supreme. So we're back in for another unbox. This one is one some of you have been waiting for. This is one I've been waiting for. Rewind back to last year. In front of the channel and a pillar of our toy community, John Joker. John Joker got the idea to do a fun trivia challenge to get all of us fellow toy collectors, YouTubers together in a fun, interactive kind of a gauntlet, if you will, of trivia. And we started it, but then, you know, life gets in the way. There was some delays. John had, his wife was expecting, and, family first. Family is always first. Not just with John, but with anyone. Life happens, and hey, it happens, guys. So John just recently completed, he just had us finish the trivia challenge about maybe just over a month or so ago. Long story short, I initially entered this challenge, the trivia challenge, because I thought it'd be fun. I'm like, hey, maybe I'll get a few answers right, maybe I won't. It'll be fun. Well, hell froze over, and I won. I won a championship belt that actually has Joker's Trivia Challenge on that. It's an amazing belt. I'm keeping it boxed up for now until I can find a better way to display it, but this is a real customized wrestling belt. And it's got obviously the Joker's ha-has right there on both sides. This side reads, "Toy collecting is like gravity. All you need is a little push." And of course the other one reads, let's see here, "It is not about the money, it's about the toy collecting. Everyone's broke, everyone's broke." And I mean, this is not plastic. This is real metal here, guys. This is an awesome belt. So I am the 2020, would it be 2021? I'm the current, or I should say I'm the current John Joker's Trivia Challenge toy collecting champion right now. Currently, in August, I'm going to be facing Rebels, Reptiles, and Games. So I'm already going to be defending my championship. And we'll see if I can hang on to it. If not, it'll pass on to someone else. And that's what it's about. It's about having a little bit of fun. Having a good time with your friends. Your friends and family, right, John? But the other thing I got was this hot toy. My very first hot toy. And no, I do not lose this. If Rebel beats me, I still hold on to my hot toy, thank God. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, and I'll be honest, I honestly don't know that much when it comes to 2029. I know a few loose things from the early 2000s video games from PlayStation. But, I mean, I'm a big Spider-Man fan. I mean, I have my multiverse of Spider-ness up there. I mean, whether it's Into the Spider-Verse Miles, I have Peter Parker, I have Venom up there, I have the different versions of Peter, I have the MCU Peters up there, and now I have my very first hot toy. And with the climate of the toy collecting community right now, it's looking like, these larger figures might be where I'm headed. I already have a 1/6 scale Green Ranger up there, and he's practically my pride and joy right now. I haven't unboxed this yet. So it looks like, I mean, today I spent $80 on 3 Power Rangers Lightning Collection figures. These basic figures were priced at $26.99 at Target. So times 3. I mean, if I'm spending $80 just on 3 figures, I might as well just multiply that a couple times and get myself a hot toy. Or there's other larger scale. The Green Ranger is actually made by 3-0. So I might be looking, stepping away from those 6-inch figures and maybe heading towards the larger figures. But what do you say I stop talking and let's get into this right now? Okay. So let's go dual screen. Lay the Razer Keo Pro right there so you guys can see everything. There we go. I don't mind my keyboard just as far as I can push it back right now. I'm going to be reorganizing the desk area in a few weeks. So let's start off with the art on here. The art, you guys don't know what I'm going to say. It is tremendous. I mean, look how awesome this art looks. I mean, obviously this is a Sideshow exclusive. It is a hot toy, but it's sold exclusively through a Sideshow. You can check out Sideshow's website. I'm going to have a link in the video description below if you want to check it out for this and many other exclusives and other hot toys that they have. They don't just do hot toys, they have a whole assortment. They have a whole assortment of collectibles, whether it's art, miniatures, you name it, they claim it, guys. So let's open this up. Excuse me. Now, of course, right here we got the credits, the cast and crew, those who developed and designed this amazing collectible. We have the nice little silhouette. Is it really a silhouette or more of a red scale, a red wash version of Spider-Man2099? And this is listed as the Spider-Man2099 black suit. Of course, we have all of our credits, all the usual suspects. This has never been opened, by the way. Let's open it. I know it's sacrilege using a bat knife to open up the box, but hey, that's how I roll. Let's open this up right now, guys. Let's see if I can. There we go. I want to keep the box in perfect condition if I ever need this, if we ever move or I want to store this. So let's take a look here. We get this nice dark burgundy or Bordeaux, if you want to call it that. We have 2 trays here. Now let's take a look at this. Looks like we have a little instruction book here. But we get, I've watched a lot of videos. I've been watching Sideshow for a long while, so I know what some of these are. We have different types of webbing. We have some short webs, depending on which poses he's going to do. We have some other accessory webbings, even like a capture webbing, like he's going to catch something right there. We have a bunch of alternate hands. Let me see here. Is there additional tape? No, there's no additional tape here, so I should be able to lift this up right away, guys. There we go. We're going to set that over to the side. And like I said, we have the different webbings and a nice foam holder for everything to go in there. Obviously, this is part of the stands for holding him in place in the pose, whatever pose we want. Let's set that off to the side. We have the different hands, of course. More webbing to play around with. I'm gonna have to watch. I'm gonna have to check out a lot of other people's videos so I can get some ideas for some posing here. Now this looks like it's gonna slot right in. to the webbing. Yeah, so it looks like it can slot right into the webbing here. Let's take a nice look at that, guys. Let me see if this will... Hold on. Let me get this. How awesome does that look? And take a look at the, I guess you would call it as spiraling. You know, the webbing, like it's twisting and creating as it's shooting out from his web shooter. Now, they do give you some, looks like these are part of a slotted part that goes onto his hand. And that is what we would use to slot some of the webbing right on. And let's take a look, even this small little slotted piece. Take a look at how metallic looking the burgundy is right there. And the blue, the metallic blue is just so piercing. I love it. Let's take a look at one of the hands up close. Wait for it to focus. There we go. Take a look at the texturing on the fingers themselves. And then the, what would you call it? The palm plates right there. I mean, you can see the texturing, the detail on here. This is, oh man. God, just looking at the hand alone, the texturing, you could feel almost a fabric-like grid, I guess you would call it. Man, this is just, and we have like little nails here, like almost claws. See if I can get that to, you can see that right there. Like stingers, so to speak, from the spider. And you can see that right there. I mean, if I'm freaking out over the detail on the hands, you guys can only imagine how I'm going to react once I get this open. Or once I pull him out. He's got like a little clear blanket. Hey. So let's pull him right on out. There's more fabrics. I love that they included these little slits here to kind of protect him at all sides. I mean, look at this. He's got tons of these. That's awesome. It's sticking to my hand now because it's static electricity. Let's take a look at this right now. How awesome does that look? These little, I would guess you would call them tendrils sticking out. These claw-like hands right here. I mean, this suit looks so friggin' badass. And you have that same kind of texture here, but you have different kinds of textures here too. You can see, I don't know how well it's coming across on camera, but the suit is not just like one sort of texture. We have different paneling on here that's more reflective than others. This is gonna be sick. Take a look at his feet. There is a hinge, so these can do different kinds of poses. But look how seamless everything looks here. I would say this is definitely way better, slightly the better construction. Oh, not slightly, but tremendously better construction than I had with the 3.0. With the 3.0 Green Ranger, you can feel the joints. With this, everything, I mean, you can't really feel joints in here. I mean, everything is just tremendous. I mean, there are some slightly satisfying snaps, but they're not loud snaps. I mean, this is... Let's see how well he stands on his own. Let's try and see. He's standing on his own. Let's give it the shake test. Or I'm shaking the desk. No, he's staying still. I mean, in some situations, you could probably go without using the stands. Hypothetically speaking, I want to say. Let's take a look at that stand right there. SPIDERMAN2099. I'm going to set that off to the side. we're not going to do the most satisfying part, which you know is peeling the plastic off of it. Come on now. Let's take a look at some of this. Okay, this is part of the... This is going to be part of the stand right here. Slide that right out. Set that off to the side. Do we have anything else hanging here? We do have the instruction book. We have these gripping hands. Of course, a pointing hand, like, where do you think you're going? And of course, we have our fists. Now, I'm going to pause this very quickly, guys. Take a look at the instructions, and then we'll continue forward. Okay, so I opened up the instruction book. It talks about the tendrils, about some of the angles where you can pose him, that he does have 90-degree angles right on his 50-degree crunches back and forth. Whoa, back and forth. Don't want to drop him. But it shows us we got 50% or 50-degree angles forward and backwards, 100-degree angles as far as the arm and torsos, 90-degree at the upper arm and shoulder, 120 at the knees, and 90 degrees as far as the legs go, and 30 degrees obviously bent at the knees itself. And then it gives us some instructions on how to set up the stand, and also looks like it gives you some tips about how to put in the webs into his hand for web sling poses, and also with the it's telling us to be careful with these tendrils, these points, because it looks like they could easily bend or break here. Now, they do feel like a soft malleable rubber that can contort in different directions, but I would be careful not to hit forward on it or hit down on it applying pressure, because you could potentially break that off and then you're screwed. Then you gotta try and modify your Spider-Man2099 to look like more weathered down, battle hardened Spidey. We don't want that. Yeah, we got some good bendability here. Now he's wearing a suit, so if you do some poses like this, and then you get a little bit of some crunching or some the fabric is kind of bunching up. You just take your fingers down and just kind of glide it back down. I'll show you what I did. Just bending him, right? You see that right there, and then now you see we got some folds happening there, right? All you have to do, smooth it back down with your thumb and your finger, and there it is. Now, I don't know if that's going to hold at, over time. I mean, we can still see a little bit of twisting of fabric right in the arm there, but you straighten out the arm and do the same thing, you should be perfectly fine with that. So far, I mean, we can see there's some stitching here, but that's obviously so they can get the suit on him. And then, obviously, it looks like they might have sealed it up after the fact. But this is, I haven't even posed him yet, guys, and I'm loving this. Oh man, John Joker, what did you do? I'm it's not like I can order a hot toy every month, but this is definitely going to be something I can see myself getting into, maybe ordering a hot toy every, 2 or 3 months. Cool thing is Sideshow does do payment plans, so you can break it up over 3 months or 6 months depending on costs. Here we have the web shooter right here, and we can actually see, I don't know how well that's going to come across. I'm waiting for it to see if it focuses. There we go. You can see the little silver tip of the web shooter right there. I mean, this looks so friggin' fantastic. It doesn't feel cheap at all either. This feels tremendous. I mean, let's take a look. How much of a tilt do we have? We have a little bit of a tilt with his neck here. Not a whole lot. Can his neck? No, his neck, this feels like it's static, it's stationary. Well, we can do some twisting, like he's looking off to the side. But not a whole lot of, I mean, he can look down. Let's hold him up like that. He can look down. He can look up, but that's about it. Now, of course, you could do some poses with him Zeus. I mean, we can do some contorting, and I mean, it is a fabric suit, so obviously there will be some contorting here. But like I said, this will straighten right out. But I mean, I can already see, I already know what the first thing I want to do some posing is. I want to see how he scales with Green Ranger. That's going to be a separate video. I want to do some battle poses between the two of them. And actually, this just came right off, but it's on a ball joint, which we're all used to. It's on a ball joint, which we're all used to with our regular action figure. So this should be able to just simply pop back in, and it does. So if you pull yours off, don't freak out. It's not the end of the world. It does come off. Because I imagine that's probably how they, you know, with the stitching and everything that they have on here. That's probably one of the ways that they get everything in, or if they need to replace that pin, that's probably one way to go about it. So, but I mean, take a look at that right there, guys. How awesome is he? And on camera, it definitely looks more red. In person, it looks more like a super dark red, almost purplish kind of tone. It depends on what the camera really picks up. But I'm loving this. I mean, like I said, I never really got into Spider-Man2099, but now that I have my own Spidey 2099, you can guarantee I am going to be getting some digital copies of some comics. I'm going to be diving deep into it because, I mean, I've always been more of a Peter Parker person because that's what I read when I was growing up. I've played Spider-Man 2099 as a character in the old PlayStation 1 and 2 Spider-Man games. Yeah, that's how far back I go. But this is looking fantastic. Let's go ahead and let's get the stand going, right? That's what you guys really want. You want to see the stand. Ooh, yeah. The best thing in the world, getting that plastic right off the stand. Look how this is like two-tone right here. We have like almost I mean, you get the nice smooth gloss of Spider-Man 2099's head, and then everything else is more like a feels almost printed on. We have so many different levels of smoothness on here, guys, as far as the texturing. And of course, it reads Spider-Man 2099, as if you didn't know. The underside, we have a little branding, Marvel, and this is 2020 Hot Toys Limited, all rights reserved. It's not limited anymore, it's all mine. Again, big thanks to John Joker for even having the trivia contest, and then me getting it in my head, hey, maybe I can get into it. Maybe I have some kind of a chance. Well, I never thought I had a chance, to be honest. No way in hell did I ever think I had a chance. Okay, I will need a Phillips screwdriver, which I happen to have right here. Because you'll need to unscrew this, or at least loosen this, so we can actually get this. Cap comes right off. So we can actually get this on. And then we pop the cap back on right here. I had a cheap knockoff, not really a knockoff, but a cheap stand for the Green Ranger right behind me, guys. You can see him right there. When I bought him, he didn't come with a stand. So I spent the extra like $24 on Amazon about like a cheap 1/6 scale stand for me to use on him. Now this feels a little loose here at the bottom, but that could just be part of the posability. Now, if you notice, there is a little bit of a tab here. Now I don't know if I have this the right side up or down. I'm going to loosen this again, and we're going to... Because my fear is that I have this upside down, that this tab should be more for back support, if you see what I'm saying. So I'm going to turn this back around. I can always readjust this. Yeah, it does feel a bit loose in here. Don't know, is there any way to... Okay, yeah, I just need to tighten it. Okay, I feel better now. Because this pole felt way too loose in the base. So, I mean, we can just do standard kind of a... Let me lower that, loosen that just a wee bit. Yeah, got to loosen it just a wee bit, slotty. I like how, now the stand I had for the Green Ranger, it felt very hard and like I almost had to force it on. This has a nice smooth release. It's not too loose, but it's not too tight either. So I'm going to loosen this down a little bit. Now what I'm doing is I'm basically just shimming it down. I don't know if that's the correct way or not, but that feels natural to me. So I'm just using my finger right here to hold the nuts that is inside. So I can tighten the screw back in. And there we are, we have our stand. And obviously those colors, they just pop so well with them. I probably could loosen it just a little bit, but this is Spider-Man, so we have to do some poses with him, right? Now, let's take a look at, I mean, this alone. And obviously this is a spring, so we can alter this any way we really want. If we want to swap out his hands, we can do that. That just pops out. Again, it's a little ball joint, so we're very used to those. Now in this one, commonly known as the thwip hand, there is a little plate. Let's see if I can get this to focus. There is a small plate, if you see by the thumb. We just have to pull that out so we can put the webbing one on. It's going to be interesting to see how I can... Okay, just applying a little bit of pressure, maybe with your fingernail, to kind of shimmy it open, and it just pops right out. So I should be able to pop the right one in. Okay, we popped the correct one in. This should allow me to plug a web into it now. Let me grab one of the shorter ones and see if we can connect that right on in. Okay. Be careful when you're trying to pry this open. One of his fingers, it felt like if I would have applied too much pressure, it could have forced and really messed it up. Now, you have to be careful with applying the webbing into here. You can hear, I don't know if you can hear any plastic twisting. But if I could hear it, I didn't want to force it in, so that's going to be a good thing. You want to apply the webbing effect before you put the plates onto his hand, guys. Just get that on there, snap into place, and we should be able to apply that right to his Back onto his wrist. Now he does have a wrist. This the web shooter actually rotates along with the hand, so you can set it so it looks like it's coming right from his shooter. Let's hold that up. How awesome is this? I really cannot wait to play around with this and try a couple different things. Like I said, I'm going to play around with a lot of poses here, but this... I mean, take a look at that right there. Guys, I am friggin' love this. Man. Wish I had one of those rotators. I mean, there's a lot of different poses. I'm gonna have to play around with this. This is obviously gonna take hours upon hours. Okay, this just popped right off. I probably didn't push it into the wrist enough. Now, there are some different webs we can do, almost as if he's holding on to the webbing, like he's swinging. So we can do poses like that with the hands. Let me see if I can get one of those. Now, they do also give you a few extra ball joints for connectors in case one pops out, one breaks. So they do give you some extras here, guys. Some of the hands they give you is almost like a flat or karate chop hand, which is pretty cool. Here's the web holding hand for web slinging. Let's see if I can get that on without breaking this. Pegs into the bottom and pegs into the, oh man. How awesome does that look right there, guys? See if I can get that in. There we go. Now, obviously, this is my first hot toy, so I'm going to have to do some playing around with poses. But maybe see if we can, I don't know, how does his body twist? A little bit. So we can do something like maybe where he's... Let me see. And do something like that where he's starting to shoot the next webbing that he's gonna web sling from, and then we have this one coming out. Got him almost like in a web slinging type, web swinging type motion. I'm gonna have to play around with this, but guys, God, this is just amazing. This is an amazing figure. No pun intended. Spider-Man and all. But guys, this is... I'm going to have hours and hours of doing different poses with him. I'm going to be posting pictures of the different poses as well. You guys can, of course, find that on Facebook, or not on Facebook, but on my Instagram at Daves_Dimension. Guys, I really cannot wait to, well, play around with this toy. It looks so tremendous. And I will be doing a comparison as far as scaling with the 3-0 Green Ranger. And I kind of want to do a fight between the two. It would be killer if they did a Batman Beyond of this. That is a 1/6 scale hot toy of Batman Beyond, because I would love to have, futuristic Spider-Man facing off against futuristic Batman. Which there's a channel called Bat in the Sun. They actually did that. They're known for doing what's known as superpowered beatdowns is what they call it. Where you have like Green Ranger versus Ryu and White Ranger versus Scorpion. They've had Deadpool and Domino versus the Joker and Harley Quinn. They've done some pretty amazing, just phenomenal fights. They even did Batman versus the Darth Vader. Believe it or not, yeah. But take a look at this, guys. How awesome does this look? Oh, man, this just looks phenomenal. Phenomenal. I'm going to play around with some poses and see what I can get, but this looks amazing, guys. This looks so amazing. I mean, I'm definitely glad I threw my hat in the Joker's Trivia Tournament. And also the fact that I'm just blown away by the fact that I actually somehow won, because I never thought I would. Like I said, I entered it just for lack of a better wording, shits and giggles, to have some fun with my friends. Did I ever think I'd hit the championship, have a championship belt? At least that I have to defend, but that I'd get this amazingly awesome hot toy here. This, I mean, just on the quality of it, looking at it, feeling, I mean, obviously when you're holding your hand, you can feel the time, the focus, I mean, the heart that went into making something like this, because you're bringing a two-dimensional image from a comic book to life, three-dimensionally at a 1/6 scale. And this is not some action figure. This is a collector's piece right here, guys. Yes, I mean, if you see this, the stand, you can do different kinds of contortions with it. I mean, I could probably set it up so that he's doing more of a fighting pose, like maybe he's swinging sideways. We can do a pose like that. Let's see if I can get his head to. There we go. I can have him like that, like he's swinging from left to right, and now he's looking in that direction as he's swinging. Let me just rotate this a little bit. There we go. That right there looks phenomenal. God, I mean, I'm blown away. And I'm sorry, guys. I know this is turning into a very long video, but this hot toy is just amazing. There's a few hot toys that I'm looking at. Captain America is definitely one of them. I'm looking at some of the other Spider-Man hot toys. I have cubes behind me that once I get all the prize giveaways shipped out, I will have room to fill said cubes, or maybe I'll have to get some bigger cubes. The ones right behind me, I have some Doctor Strange figures. I got the Red Ranger helmet. Red Ranger helmet I'm actually looking to possibly get rid of. I might try Mercari or eBay. But I definitely want to make some room for a few 1/6 scale figures. But this just looks phenomenal, guys. I'm just blown away. I am so blown away. It's not even funny. This looks amazing. I'm going to be staring at this forever. Again, big thanks to John Joker for having that trivia tournament and for being so generous and gracious to put such an amazing prize up. And I have my first hot toy. I have my first hot toy. It is a badass futuristic Spider-Man, and it's got some of my favorite colors on here. I love blue and red, Buffalo Bills. So, but this looks phenomenal. Oh God. I mean, I don't know if what you're seeing does justice. I mean, this is molded on here. It doesn't feel like a hard plastic. It feels more like a rubber. I mean, the whole suit is just amazing. The different tones on here, guys. What I'm describing, what you're seeing on the screen does not do it justice. And I'm blown away. I have a hot toy, and it's a Spider-Man hot toy. And it is a badass Spider-Man that you would not want to see down any alley. Well, you wouldn't want to see any Spider-Man through an alley, but this guy is Billy badass himself. And there's so many different hands and accessories in here for posing. I'm not going to get any sleep tonight, guys. So there we are, guys. I mean, an amazing. I mean, there's so many different poses we can do with this. The stand itself is pretty damn hot and amazing right there. It's nice and stable. I don't have to worry about him falling down. I have tons of webbing accessories to play with. And it's, I mean, from this point on, I mean, damn. It's, you know, I think I've had my first dose of hot toys and I don't want to stop. But again, big thanks to John Joker for everything. Thanks to you guys. What do you guys think of this hot toy? What are your thoughts on them? Let me know in the comments section below. Let me know if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down. Got comments, questions, concerns, guys. My socials are right there. Daves_Dimension and at Dimension Daves. So Instagram and Twitter. I'm gonna have some pictures of him. I'm gonna post 1 or 2 pictures of him right now, and then we're gonna have some more pictures, probably coming within the next week or two, guys. While I'm doing some poses, I'm in the next month or two. I'm actually gonna start seeing if I can build kind of like a diorama for display. And for unboxings on my other desk I have to the side. But for right now, man, he looks so badass. I might have to bump Green Ranger down to the next shelf below where all the Doctor Strange ones are. And I think Spiderman2099 is going to get that slot. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate Spiderman2099? Are you a hot toy fan? Do you have a hot toy yourself? And if not, what's one one that you're hoping gets made, or that would be your first hot toy? Let me know. And hey, if you're already a hot toy collector, let me know what your favorite one in your collection is. I would really love to know. So there we are, guys. Unbox Spider-Man2099, my first hot toy. Not going to be my last. I had to say, I think I'm kind of hooked. Given how if you do the calculations, you know, one Marvel wave is about 7 figures. You're 7 action figures for one wave, especially if it's build a figure. And if you're a completionist, you're doing all 7, or you might do 6. Even then, you're talking a difference between $150 to $175 before tax. Do the math. After tax, you're easily talking $200, if not a little bit more. And an average hot toy is gonna average between $240 and probably maybe $280. The ones with all the really sick, awesome accessories might go up to $350. But do the math. You do the two Hasbro waves, and you pretty much have a hot toy and change left over, guys. That's what I'm getting at. So, I mean, considering where collecting is right now, I think Hot Toys or 1/6 scale figures, whether it's through 3.0, there's so many different companies out there. I think that's really where the future is for the most part. Either that or going back down to, 3 3/4 scales, more the retro style. Maybe retro toys will make a comeback in collecting. Not that they ever went anywhere to begin with, but damn. So with that being said, guys, again, I apologize for the really long video, but it had to be done, especially for a Hot Toy unboxing. Guys, thank you again for checking out the channel. We are currently at 540 friends and family, 540 citizens of the dimension, 540 subscribers to this channel. Thank you guys so much. We're going to keep it going. We're going to be doing a special 500 subscriber giveaway next month, probably towards the end of June. You'll have more details in the following weeks to come. But guys, that's it, guys. Until next time, those two things I always like to say, keep on busting. And I will always catch you on the flip side.
I've got an itch I can't scratch. I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me. An open